I get up Stuart's stair, the bed up the stair, and Shorty was doing in the front room. And I says, Lissy, I says, there's something near it doing it appear a day. Or men is our cocky's corner, and they're watching something, and of course, Lizzie and me landed doing them in a crowd in a milk jug. And of course I'll be took their way away and watching a boaty gone ashore, you see. Oh, what waves, and if there's anything going into shore, my time after that. What waves, mountains, and she was just bobbing like a cork, the boaty. Well, we get and landed over with a crowd, and then she come ashore onto a green patchy, right in onto the beach. And my father was living at the time, and he said that Norwegian skipper had been a great seaman, because he was going to put the boat ashore first. He came down in John Patterson's house yonder, and you're coming in North Street for the Westert. Well, my father, the first idea was, when the men was watching them, he'd been going to put their ashore here. But my father said if he did not, he would have lost his life. It wasn't safe there. But he chanced his luck, and he dragged it right down and run it in the lighthouse. And I could see the head bobbing at the back, just at the port, you know. Oh, what waves atween the harbour and the port. I'd bet it was awful. And then we did our, the crowd was, and then Sharon's dog, that was a banker of £4,000. He had a great big, I think he was a retriever, and I mean, and that dog, when they threw the rope, the dog took it gently smooth and swam out to the skipper's brother, who'd been a mate in a boat, and he took a rope and tied it. And I'll never forget, the skipper's little boy, 14 or 15 years old, was in a boatie. And that was the days when the herring barrels was being made at the brow. He'd like been coming across with a cargy barrel staves, and then going off, and it was a common thing. It had boats, there to their cargy would have been big planks, and they put them on the deck. Well, all that was washing off or not. Before she come to resort, it was enough a storm. And I could mind when that little boy come in a breeches boy, he was saved first. And oh, the crowd was here. I'll never forget the cheer yet to get up.
I think it was half a goose winter morning, about the month of December or something. She was a load of hoops. That hoop fingers on the bottles. And she came ashore just near far with the pen to the deck. And this dog of Sharon's, the bunkers, get out and took her up ashore. They would have been for that. Surely, get away instead of gone to school. Oh, God, it was over here. I did a great job on them. Put a black retriever, she was. Very good. Nay, bother at all. She just get into the water and swam out to the body. And come ashore with a rope. And the other body could have gone down. And they were all going ashore. No.
But they'd come ashore like at the Brinny's Road there. She was the called the Marie. She was a catch frigate ship. And she drove on to the rocks being at Brinny's Road there. And it was in the morning, and it was an awful gale of wind out of the north, blowing directly onto the shore, you see. And the coast guards come out for the broch, and we had their gear, and they weren't along a race set it up, like, and they fired the rockets. Out to get a rocket on to get a cable out for their triangle, to get their triangle set up, and the breaches buoy running. But there was such a force of wind blowing, like, and it was the old boxer rocket that they had. And they fired all the rockets, and they never got in. The wind carried them all away, and carried them away to the leeward, like, you see. And gosh, be here if it was going to be done now, like, you can. No, but it was a great good crowd of folk, like, there watching, and manatins. We saw a black head swimming in the sea, and what was this? But Mr. Sharon, the bunker's dog, a big black curly retriever dog, he's in the sea swimming out to the body. He swam out, and the crew, they were doing a rope to him. And he grabbed it in and swam back with, and that made connection between the ship and the shore. They got the runner onto tied onto this, and the crew hauled it out, tied it round about the mast, and then they sent out the buoy, set up a triangle, and sent out the buoy. They had got the crew off. And the doggy, he was a greatly fated dog, like, talked an awful lot, And, he was presented with a collar, a silver collar for this business in the fisherman's hall. I mine I was just a little berkey, but I mind fine on being in a hall, and a lady dog on the platform, and he was presented with a kind of collar clasped round his neck, like, and that's a story. It seemed to hit the popular taste, as you would say, like, for it's been quoted in quite a lot of magazines, like foreign as well as, I mean, a man in the name of Dod Gordon. He was a son of Billy Gordon of boat builders. He was his youngest, he was the youngest son of Billy's. He was home for Canada, but Vancouver, in fact, he was in. And we was this big in his house when he come round, him and Candy Jarrett, all Candy it is. They come round and was using a while, and this subject come up about his dog, you see, DNS, like, and Dod says, man, I'll tell you a story about that, man. He says, my lassie come home for the Sunday school in Vancouver, and we have a pamphlet in her hand, and this was a story of the whole thing, entitled The Brave Dog Don. So he says, I was interested, and I told my daughter that I had seen was a witness of the whole thing, and she had told her school teacher, and the school teacher come, and I had to young in East Sunday and tell them an eyewitness account of the whole thing. The doggy at Mr. Sharon, he got a waff here up to Bramar. He was a bank agent up there. And he took the dog with him. And I wrote an article about him to the parish magazine, and I said that I didn't care anything about the dog, if it happened to him after they get off of here. But a son of Sharon's, of Mr. Sharon's, had gotten a look at that article that I wrote, and he wrote my back and told me if it happened to the dog. And the thing was this, that the dog was growing old, and Mr. Sharon thought he'd be better to be putting down, like it. And so he engaged a Mr. Lamont, it was a gimme in Bremar, to come and shoot him, like, and put him out of the road, like. And the dog was lying in the parlour fire this day, and he heard Mr. Lamont come in at the gate and come up the path. And when he heard him coming up the path, the dog raised for the fireside and get away to the front door. And when Mr. Lamont opened the door to come in, the dog fell down dead at his feet. Aye, so he didn't need Mr. Lamont's services. And that was the hinner end of the brave dog Don, like. Aye.